debate stage. Listen.
I think if he prepares, he'll be fine, and then he'll forget it within about an hour after preparing. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Now,
well, thank you for that, Donald. All right. So
He's going to demand 50% of the paycheck.
let's get on started here. Oh boy.
So tell us about this. You had to help your uncle with something.
Yeah, I was just trying to set the mood a little bit here with some EDM, I guess. Is that what the music is? This kind of techno, you know? Yeah. Well, Jimbo's getting too excited over there, so I'm gonna have to tune this down before he goes too much of a groove. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to tell you about this. So my uncle lives in a town. It's called Hagerstown. It's like an hour and 10 from where I am in Maryland. And he said, "Hey, so look, your grandparents are out of town, so come on by and help me move some furniture around, help me clean some stuff. Make it smell less like cat. Let's just try to tidy this place up while they're out of town." So I have to cut through Pennsylvania to get there. So I'm in this little random town in Pennsylvania. And I say to my uncle, "Hey, I'm 20 minutes out. Are you going to be at the house?" And he says to me, "Oh, well, I had to go into work, so I'm going to be a couple of hours." Well, I can't turn around. I don't have the gas money for that. And I promised him that I was going to clean. I should have just fucking went home right then and there. But for whatever reason, I decided to keep on going. So I end up at a park. And it's a nice park. It's down by a pond. Um, it's kind of like a young community there. A lot of folks about our age, on their morning jog or whatever. So I kind of try to blend in, put my headphones in, walk around a little bit. And it's just getting hotter and hotter. I think it was like 90 degrees was the low on Wednesday. 96 was the high. So I'm just beating in sweat. And finally, I call my uncle again and I say, "Hey, what's the deal? Are you home yet or not?" And he says to me, "Oh, well, I'll be in town by 3 o'clock. It's only noon." So I end up at the mall and I start walking around this somewhat vacant, dead mall. And I come across this area where there's nothing but 25-cent machines. This mall is so old, they still have the quarter machine for the Pokemon Trading Card Center.
Oh shit!
Like in the yeah, like in the mall. I don't know if
Holy
it's
fuck.
usable. I didn't try to put any money in. But anyway, so after that's all said and done, uh, we end up not cleaning anything at all because he ends up getting in at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we have to pop up to West Virginia. And we saw his girlfriend, and he said hi to a couple of other people. It's like 20 minutes up the street, but he's like, "Oh, yeah, we're going to go in and do a couple of things and whatever." And yeah, I kind of just kind of saw the inside of his world actually being there to clean. It was kind of strange.
Yeah.
Because we're in town with these people. He takes me up to this town where she lives and works, and he's friendly with all the coworkers. It's at a donut shop. He's friendly with all the coworkers there, and then he's at a gas station nearby, and he's friends with all these people in there, and I just wasn't sure how to respond. I don't typically go to a Sheets to socialize, but I guess when you drive for a living, that's what happens. You just become friends with all the bystanders.
Yeah,
So
that
that was
sound.
my day. Ended up I did I did a lot of driving that day, man.
You sound thrilled about it.
Well, have you ever been in 2 different states in the same day, like, coincidentally? Just completely out of all convenience, just so happening to be there.
One time, and it just happened.
Oh,
It happened by complete accident. So my buddy, he broke up with his girlfriend, so we had to drive all the way up to Somerset in South Dakota to pick up some stuff. We're about there.
how far is Somerset?
I can't remember. I've only been there once, but yeah, we
It's
go to.
quite a bit. Is it past Rapid, I would assume?
I think so. Yes. So it's probably like if I had to guess, maybe like a.
That's my micro hold on, Jimmy, my microphone. I'm a complete amateur, and my microphone is falling off of the fixture here. So I had to ruin your wonderful story. Anyway,
Yeah,
so you're going up the continue. My bad.
Somerset to pick up some of his stuff. We
What?
we get up there to find out that she actually dumped it off at his parents' place up in Wyoming. And I'm sitting in the car and he's just like,
Oh my
you,
goodness.
you fucking bitch and all this other stuff. And then he gets back in the car and goes like, we're going to Wyoming. And I'm like, I didn't have it in me to be like, can you take me home? He was like, we're going to Wyoming. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to Wyoming. Go all the way to Wyoming and trying to remember where.
Wait, so who were you riding with? Was it just him? Was it just you and this guy?
It was just me and this guy. Just the two of us.
Oh no. So how far from Somerset was his parents' place?
It was like 3 hours. So we drove basically
Oh,
another
lovely.
3 hours to get his stuff. Then we drove roughly another 5 so he could get me back to Shadra. And then he had to basically drive another like 45 to get back to Alliance. So that was that was not fun. I was under the
Oh man. No,
impression it
what
was
a
just gonna be like,
day.
oh yeah, I was under the impression it was gonna be roughly like 4 hours, there and back, and maybe we stopped for like breakfast or somewhere in between. But nope, it was just a madhouse, and that was uncomfortable for me. I'm just sitting here while he's just fuming. I'm thinking like, this man could probably just drive off the road at any second and just be like, fuck it, man, I don't care anymore.
I'm finding out now because I'm actually curious. So was Somerset in South Dakota or was it in Nebraska? Oh no, Somerset, South Dakota. Okay, yeah, so it's about an hour and 50 minutes up the road. So okay, so that's still not close by any means. And then you had to go an additional 3 hours this way.
Yep. Like I said, I didn't want
Oh
to. I didn't
shit.
want to say to him, "Can you take me home?" Because I feel like he'd just strangle me and throw me out of the car. Because I'm getting
Oh, but you
uncomfortable.
know what? It was probably a good bonding experience for the two of you.
I was, yeah, by bonding, it was like 5% me giving input, while 95% he's saying delightful things about his ex, and
Were you two coworkers or something?
Uh, no, we were friends. So like it was like through a Discord for like gaming shit.
Oh, okay. So wait,
Yeah.
so it's just some Discord guy that happened to be up the street, and you got dragged into moving his shit out of his girlfriend's house?
No, no. I initially planned to ride with him, but we were under the impression it was gonna be like 4 hour drive. Two there, two back, so 4 hours in total. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I've got nothing going on, and I don't mind.
Not a long day.
No, it was going to be relatively simple. We left at like 7. Got there at 9. We left Somerset to head to Wyoming. We got to where we needed to. I can't remember where. That we got after that. We got to it was like about noon when we got to his parents' place. Then we drove all the way back. Yeah, that was a whole day just pissed away to that, just
My
because of
goodness.
you know.
I I don't know if it was on our way from Billings to visit Shadron, or if it was when we were. Yeah, it had to have been. It had to have been um, when we were visit. I think it was either visiting Shadron or coming back to the East Coast. I got to fix this microphone. Give me a second here. But I don't know. Something got all discombobulated. My bad. Anyway, what I was trying to say was, I don't know if it was coming back to the East Coast or if it was just us coming down to visit Shadron. But I was driving my truck, and I had it at a gas pump, and we were in like Burns, Wyoming. Okay, I couldn't point this place out on a map. Honestly, if you asked me like where it was from, let's say, like Casper, okay, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's more or less like right outside of North Platte. So, yeah, I believe that we were heading to Kearney that night to go back to the East Coast because we woke up in Casper, which makes sense. So this was probably like midday by then. Any fucking way. I just went into the gas station to grab something, and it was a kind of a long line. Well, all of a sudden, I get this fucking cowboy in there going. He just bursts into the doors of this shitty little gas station convenience store. Hey, Montana, move your truck. So I just kind of looked at him. I finished paying for my things, and I left the store. Well, I he watches me, and he's kind of going, keeping an eye on me as he walks back into his truck. Well, this is my problem too, okay? Saying to me, "Hey Wyoming," or sorry, "Hey Montana, move your truck." It's Montana plates in Wyoming. Like I'm not sure. Like if you drive into New Jersey with New York plates, is there really a lot of hatred there?
I
Like,
don't think
does
so.
anybody give a shit where you're from if you're
Probably was
just
just
driving on the Jersey Turnpike?
probably was being a tool.
Right here. Move your- So I mean, so finally, what we do, we drive off. Well, anyway, so as we're driving off, this dude is in like a big RV, and he's trying to ride me off the road. Like he's physically trying to ride my truck off the road. And then he kind of just gets bored of it and turns into the other lane and drives away. And his wife is in the rearview mirror kind of laughing. I don't know why. I don't know what upset him so bad. He just didn't like the fact that my truck was parked at the pump a little too long. But the
That's
wife was pumping gas. But my wife wife was pumping gas, so it wasn't like anything was.
That's crazy.
Oh man,
It reminds me of a
I don't know if I
time
ever
in
told you the story about that trip home.
no,
What?
no, you didn't tell me about that story. It reminds me of a time when I was in
Oh my
Florida.
goodness, it was during COVID.
Go ahead.
Oh shit. Oh, I was just saying it was during COVID, which made it even weirder. But anyway, you go ahead.
All right. So this was when I was in Florida. Me and some buddies were heading up to Sarasota, and you know, we rounded up the people that were in Northport, which is the town that I lived in. Then we went and scooped up some buddies in Port Charlotte, which was like the next little town over. And we head to this gas station to it's the whole, oh, we're gonna fill up gas, make sure you get drinks, get your get everything you need before we go. This guy pulls up next to my buddy, and he's like, sir, you're going, it was like 50, like we had it, like 50 was the speed limit, and this guy goes up to my buddy, he was like, sir, you're going 51 and a 50. And my buddy is just like, who gives a shit? He was like, if you do that again, I might have to call the cops. And my buddy, and as if it was just like, fuck you, who are you? Goes inside, and this guy
Wait. Who bit him for going 51 and a 50?
is this random fucking guy. He had his fucking cargo shorts. He was, his plaid t-shirt, you know, he looked like he was a body double for Zac Efron in High School Musical. Where Are They Now? Fucking 8 years later edition. The tool. So my buddy was like, fuck you, who the fuck are you? And he goes inside, and this guy stands in front of my buddy's vehicles, hands at his hips like this. He's just standing there.
Was he ready
My
to get
buddy
his
comes,
dick sucked or something?
and my buddy comes back out. And he's like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I don't know if I can let you leave. I might have to call the cops." And he was like, "For what?" He was like, "You know how dangerous it is." He was like, "How fast you're going?" He was like, 1 mile over, and he was like, "That makes a difference." And then my stupid ass was just like, "You could kill someone going at like 30 miles an hour. Where are you enforcing the, sir? You went 33 and a 30, like what are just." And this
It was
guy just would
41, so he was going.
he just would not. Finally, he left, and his final warning was
Shit, my
just,
bad.
and like before he left, his final warning was, if you ever go that fast again, you might kill someone. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking? Are you insane?
He was going 1 mile over. What's he talking
One.
about?
And he just wouldn't. Yeah, he would not
Oh,
shut up. So we're driving away, and we're on the highway, and my buddy goes like 2 miles over the limit. I'm like, dude, you're going too fast. And he's like, fuck off. And I'm like, think about the consequences of your actions. You might kill someone going 2 miles extra on this empty highway right now. It is just so bad. And I'm like, Floridians are nuts, man.
oh my God, yeah. It seems like it. It seems like there's they sure make great cop cam content. Those Floridians. My goodness.
Oh, man. Here I thought New Yorkers were batshit crazy.
I
And then
was
I meet Floridians, and I'm like, holy hell, you people are a different breed, aren't you?
but though sometimes though there are uh like small town cops that kind of want to be the hero of the day. So I was going through Wyoming, and everyone in that state is a fucking cartoon character. Let's be real. And I was passing through Moorcroft, Wyoming, and I went over the bridge, and this cop stops me. It was there was a speed limit sign that was on the bridge, And he stops me and says to me, "Oh well, sir, the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit begins on the bridge, not after the bridge." So in that little bit of time that I had to adjust my speed, he decides, fuck him, I'm gonna give him a ticket. So I took the ticket. It was whatever. And went on. Well, when I went to call to pay the ticket, the same cop picked up. I found out that in town there is only a sheriff and a sheriff deputy. Those are the only two fucking cops that are in this entire town.
Oh no.
So I just went ahead. Imagine the cop that gave me the ticket is the same one that transacted my payment. And I'm not too sure how to feel about
I wouldn't feel good about it. It's just like this guy was like, I'm gonna pocket this now because I'm doing all the work.
it.
Maybe I'll get one of them fancy
Oh,
rocking chairs. I'll get him back and forth with my shotgun like in the movies.
no, this guy was a young guy. He was young, you know, uh, kind of stocky, but it
Maybe I'll.
seemed like he was the sheriff. Yeah, no, this was a young duo. It's been a long time now. I really don't remember it, but they were
Yeah.
okay guys. They weren't, shitty about the whole situation. Oh man. Anyhow, uh,
What's the worst traveling
I don't
experience
know,
you've
man.
had?
Just some of that shit. Oh fuck. I
And
guess I was in the airport in Detroit.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I was in the airport in Detroit, and there was a layover for like 7 hours or something, 8 hours,
Ugh.
because a flight was canceled. I was supposed to fly Detroit to Dallas, Fort Worth, and then Dallas, Fort Worth to DC, where my father was picking me up. But there was rain in Dallas, so that canceled the flight. And I'm just walking around. Beautiful airport, by the way, Detroit Metro International. This beautiful, state of the art facility. But I had all my bags with me, and I'm just kind of carrying them around. I wasn't aware that I could drop that shit off at the gate and just let them keep it. So I'm physically, and I didn't think about it. I should have just checked the bags. Honestly, I should have just done it. But I was new to flying. I didn't get it. So I went ahead and just lugged all this shit around for 7 hours. And I was in line at this like this deli. And I was probably like fifth in line, and then there was a good like 10 people behind me. Well, a few behind me was this lady. She had a mohawk. Her hair was shaved, and she had like a strip of hair going down the middle. I remember she had a jean jacket on and a leather skirt, and I guess her son was in front of the line. And in my ear, she very moistly yells, "It's so sorry." She was asking her son for an egg salad sandwich, but she didn't have any teeth, and she's just and all this like I'm getting the debris that's it's flying off her lips and spattering onto my shoulder. So that happens, and then I am in the metro, okay, because I have to take the train from one side of the airport to the other. It's a massive airport, and I have 8 hours. Keep in mind, okay. So I thought it was a good idea to just sit on the train and just see where it takes me. I got a long time, right? Well, apparently you're not allowed to do that all the time. That's kind of ill-advised because I ended up in the first class section of I think it was like the first class lounge for I want to say Lithuania Air or something. I was all the way over on the international side at this point, just dicking around. And they said, "Sir, can I see your boarding pass? Can I see your certificates? Can I see all this stuff?" And I had none of that on me. I was just flying to DC, and they're like, "Okay, yes, we're gonna have to ask you to leave right now." Um, how did you find this side of the airport, sir? Can I take you to the desk so they can redirect you and get you to where you need to go? And I said honestly, I was like 19. I was just like, dude, I don't know. I was just kind of wandering around. All right, well, you can't wander in here, sir. I understand that. I'm not even inside. There's one of those fucking um what do you call it things? Like the things that you have at a bank, like those felt rope things. It,
Yeah.
it, it was directly around the lounge. I wasn't even in the lounge. I was
that-
trying to get coffee because on the international side, sometimes they have authentic brands from those countries that are kind of set up in the general area. So I was just trying to get some coffee. This fucking guy was telling me, "Oh, I'm going to have to get security, sir. You're going to have to, get this is a VIP section." I'm not even standing in the So I just was nervous, so I left completely. I got back on the train, ended up over on the other side, okay? And at this point, I was on the train for like a half hour because it just takes forever to get over there. So I'm on this for like a half an hour. Because it's not like in Denver where it just goes and it stops. This
Yeah.
has like three different stops. So I'm just hanging out forever. And finally, I get off and I'm at a terminal nowhere near where I need to be, by the way. I get some McDonald's and then I realize, okay, I need to figure out where I am, and I am now on like the domestic side, yes, but I'm closer to like United Airlines and those, and I had to get back over to I believe I was with Southwest, so I had to get back to the Southwest section, and I finally do, and so I'm like, okay, good, I'm ready to fly. I've been here all damn day. It's time to get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, then they tell us, because remember, we were delayed, so we had another flight.
Yeah.
So we finally get on the flight, and they say to us, "Attention passengers, all flighting, 555 to Denver to Charlotte." Blah, blah. And I hear them say, "We are flying from Detroit to Charlotte. We're not even fucking flying to DC." I have been in this airport 8 hours. And now I have to go to North Carolina. So I get on the flight. I land in Charlotte, and then I call my father and I say, "Hey, eventually I will be in DC. I landed in Charlotte." He says, "What the fuck are you doing in Charlotte?" I said, "They redirected my flight, so I'm in Charlotte. I've been traveling all day. I've been traveling." Dude, I left the airport. I flew out of the Shatter Municipal Airport at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Like whatever the first plane is out of there. I
Yeah.
had been dicking around all day because I flew. It was kind of shitty because when you book a flight from Denver, um, unfortunately, I don't know why I booked. I was supposed to um fly for whatever reason. I had like all these fucking I don't know. It was the worst thing ever. After this, I got a lot better of how to book flights and not just take the cheapest flight, because you realize when a flight's cheap, you're gonna have like four layovers. That's why it's so cheap.
Yeah.
But oh, it fucking sucked. I got to Charlotte, it was quick, and then I landed in DC and met up with my father, and the whole thing was done. But my God, a whole day wasted on malarkey.
Yeah. That's how I feel with buses. I won't take buses from state to state anymore. Like if it's within the city or wherever I am, that's fine. But I was 18 at the time. I was in Florida. I had some buddies up in New York who were like, "Hey, you should you know, come out and visit." I'm like, "Well, I've flown a few times. Why don't we just take like, the bus and see how that goes?" Oh God, that was whew, that was
Greyhound?
yeah, of course. Ugh,
I've been there,
man.
done that with that fucking Greyhound, man.
So the beginning of the trip went well. It's when I arrived to New York City itself is when things just naturally just went to shit. Because some of my buddies lived in upstate, so like Watertown, which is in Jefferson County, which is by Fort Drum. Anywho, so
Mhm.
I get to this place there, and there's the place that I'm crashing at for the night. It's this hotel lounge deal. Had like a sandwich shop at the bottom of it. So I go down to the sandwich shop, and I'm shooting the shit with the owner, and there's this lady that comes in named Eve that for like some extra like bucks she'll help like clean the place down for the night. Well, out of the blue, we see this drunk Russian dude come in, and he's just this is where this is where it gets crazy.
In New York,
Uh,
just a Russian guy just walk. Of course, he just walks right in.
yeah, he just walked into this place, and the owner says to him, "Sir, we're closed." He was just like, "Well, what's this guy doing here?" And he was just like, he bullshit and said, this is my nephew. We're just shooting the shit." I wasn't his nephew. He was just like thinking, whatever. This guy was just like, "Well, he's got to go too," and he was like, "No, he can say you got to go though." And this guy walks off. We're continuing the talk. The next thing we know, we hear a knock, knock on the window, and the Russian guy is doing this. We're like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? And he comes back in, he goes like, "So you know what that means?" And he was like, "What?" He goes, in the most thick Russian accent, he was like, "So that means you are a cocksucker." We're like, "You're fucking stupid." Like, what the heck is this? And he just walks off. And it gets
I
better.
guess was he drunk and just looking for? Oh, okay.
Oh, it gets better. No, that's not the end of it. So the next morning, I go down to get some breakfast in the lounge, and lo and behold, the Russian returns to the window. But rather than going into the establishment, he knocks on the window again, and he says, "Hey, faggot, well, fuck you," and then walks off. And we're like, just, oh man,
Why
it
is
was.
he still in the neighborhood though?
I don't know. I didn't want to ask the guy, "Hey, where are you going? Where are you from? Where are you staying?" I didn't want to ask him that.
But I was wondering, like, I guess he must have been staying in the hotel you were staying in.
I think so. Either that or in New York, it could be anything. I don't know. I didn't think to ask. I was just like, ugh, just. And then I get on the bus to head
Right.
up
That's
to
right.
Then I get on the bus and head up to We had to stop in Syracuse. And as we get there, there's this lady who this is where my bus ride got delayed. There's a lady who hopped on the bus that wasn't supposed to. Somehow just sneaked in. And at one point, the driver was just like, "You're not supposed to be on here." The lady was just like, "Oh, you just take me down the street and it'll be fine." He was like, "No, you got to get off. You didn't pay for anything." She was just like, "I'm not going anywhere. Fuck you." And guy was just like, "Go ahead and call the police." And what does this lady says? "I know the chief of police around here. Try it." And so this,
In New York? In New York?
yeah, in New York, this lady knew the chief of police, and I almost wanted to say, for which district? What Providence are you from?
Right. I know the chief of police. It's
That
not like the town sheriff, ma'am. It's the NYPD.
that's the equivalency of me saying my dad works
Oh,
for
that's so
Nintendo, but we're playing on PlayStation. And it's just like, good for you. That's an awesome
I'm
story,
I'm
man.
I'm gonna call the president of the police on you.
Yeah. So, this lady gets pulled off the bus, and I look out the window. I see her interacting with the police. Next thing I know, she slaps a cop. I'm like, well,
Holy shit! She slapped the cop.
and it wasn't like a light slap. I couldn't hear it since I was inside the bus, but you could look and tell this was a real, like, that's gonna leave a mark. And it was just the whole deal, man. So that was nice. And finally get to finally get to where I'm going. I'm like, I'm glad I drove all the way from where I went from all the way where I was in Florida to one of the most shittiest parts of New York. Lovely. Oh man, upstate New York has.
Uh,
Don't get me wrong, Syracuse. Like, if I had to recommend anywhere in upstate for people to go to, Syracuse is good to go to. I like Rochester. Buffalo can be a good time though. Um, there's Sackett's Harbor. I guess that's a nice place too. But Watertown, ugh. It's the alliance of fucking that
that's
area.
that's a military town.
Well, the reason why I made the alliance reference is because there's a lot of meth heads out there.
The
It's bad.
alliance of upstate.
It's bad, man. Just a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
fucking.
I can imagine.
It's just,
Oh man.
you could tell when the first person I see walking down the street's a lady doing this. She's doing some motion. I'm like, why, why? I told my buddy, you're
It
coming up to
was like,
Florida. Told my buddy, you're coming up to Florida next time. I can't
oh,
do this. It's horrible. But
uh,
yeah,
I and well, let's just say, a particular, a change happened in life, let's say, and I was forced to take a Greyhound, from Grand Island, back to Rapid City, um, where our buddy Richard ended up picking me up.
oh, I've heard this story.
But anyway, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I apologize to Richard because I know I annoyed him that day, and I feel a bit bad. But what a wild day for me! I had to go, more or less all the way through Iowa. It was ridiculous because they took us up and out. So we went through Iowa for several hours, in through the thick of South Dakota, all the way across the state and down into Rapid City. So I think it was probably a 12-hour endeavor.
Yeah.
And then, but or in the early morning, okay, I'm in Omaha, and this guy comes in, and he is in an orange. He's in an orange, like Adidas suit, like a tracksuit, and he sits down. Everybody's kind of quiet on their phones, reading, whatever. And he stands up and says, "I'm James Brown's nephew." And everybody kind of ignores. And then he goes, "Ow!" And he begins to dance. And he's like, "I know you want me like this. Oh, ho, oh." And just saying this fucking nonsense. So no one is saying anything to this guy. Well, he just kind of like sings himself into the bathroom, and then that's it. I didn't see that fucking guy again.
Jesus Christ. Uh,
But I was in Iowa City later that morning. I remember this lady, for whatever reason, she wanted was so it was Jefferson Lines. It was not Greyhound, and we were in Iowa City for an hour. And the guy, the bus driver, I think they may have been like a Christian based bus service. I'm really not sure. But the guy got on there and said, "All right, everyone, we have an hour in Iowa City. Remember, there is no alcohol on this excursion. If you come back smelling like alcohol, you will be dismissed from travels today. And you may not go to any restaurants that serve alcohol because we will um, make the judgment that alcohol could have been served, and you will be escorted off the bus." So you couldn't even show them your receipt to say, hey, look, I went to a TGI Fridays and didn't fucking drink. So I ended up just eating at whatever the little food court was there in the bus station. Well, like burgers and fries and chicken
yeah, yeah,
baskets and that kind of bullshit.
yeah.
Uh, you know, so anyway, some overpriced horse shit. So um, actually, I don't think the food was priced too bad. No, I really can't remember. Well, what's more important about this is the lady was told specifically that you cannot buy alcohol. So then she says, "Well, why is there alcohol available at the station? We were at a truck stop. Like, of course there's going to be."
Of
And
course.
they said, "Well, ma'am, you can't have it on the bus." So she has these two like six packs that she's trying to get onto the bus. They are dismissing her from the bus. And then she's like screaming and hollering at the bus driver, and is yelling at this old man that's giving her bags, and she's telling them that she's going to have all their jobs and she's going to have them fired and all this kind of stuff. And she's just going on and on and on. Well, our bus, she wasn't riding with us. Our bus was now being what do you call it, embarked on.
Starting. Oh, yeah.
So we had our passes, we're getting onto the bus. Well, I get my seat, I look out the window, and she's still over there doing all this shit. Well, point at, at some point she hauls back and does something, and I guess the police thought that she was going to swing. It was a female cop, and she grabbed her arm and shoved her to the ground, and we all saw her get arrested as we were pulling out of the truck stop there. I believe it was a Love's.
Ah, disorderly conduct with love.
Oh man, because usually those stops aren't too bad. I remember, like, we had a lot of stops on that trip. It was a strenuous. It's not something that I would ever want to do if I didn't have to,
Oh yeah.
unless if I had a lot of time on my hands. Because, yeah, man, because the older you get and your off days become a lot more delicate, the last thing that you want to do is be on a bullshit bus stopping in every town along the way for 8 hours, 9 hours, however
I
fucking
mean,
long it was.
even when I was that
Awful.
young for the ride, I didn't want to waste all my time with those stops. And then, so yeah, I tell people sometimes about the random drunk Russian dude at the sandwich shop, because that's
But when I was younger, I guess I just liked the idea of seeing things. You
oh yeah,
I figured, well, if I take this Greyhound, then we'll stop in some random little places, and then I'll get the experience for the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I there was no way else I could look at it. I didn't exactly want to be on a fucking Greyhound all day. I had no choice in the matter. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it was just something that had to be done.
I guess I'll put
Jimmy,
it
don't
like
even laugh, you son of a bitch.
I guess I'll put it like
I
this.
see you over there.
I'll put it like this. I'm not saying nothing can happen on plane rides or anything like that, but in my experience, they've been a little more controlled. If you want to see the most bizarre, weirdo, random shit, just get on a Greyhound, get on a bus, and travel a few states, and you know,
Oh yeah. Good grief. I used to get on Greyhounds. I would go up and down when I was living in Norfolk to go
yeah,
up to Baltimore to see my mom. And one time, I feel like this camera angle has changed the entire episode, and I feel so bad because my computer keeps moving. But this one time, I had to stay in. I was in like somewhere in Dover, Delaware. It was a
yeah,
stop in Dover, and I was just there overnight. So we're all kind of sitting in this cafeteria that's serving nothing with the lights that are way too bright, and we're sitting at cafeteria tables just exhausted. And this guy comes up to me about my age at like 1 o'clock in the morning and says, "Hey, so I'm a battle rapper." And I just said, "Oh, okay, okay." No, but no, we start talking, like he didn't just come up to me and out of the blue volunteer the information. We were having a conversation, and this came up. So he begins showing me these battle rap videos. He's like the worst rapper I've ever heard, and it looks like he's battle rapping in like this tiny bar somewhere with this other guy that's equally as mediocre, and that he's showing me these battle rap competitions that he clearly has no part of, with a lot better rappers performing and actually having a decent back and forth with each other. So he has me listen to a song of his,
oh no,
and he's playing this song, right? So he's sitting at the table with that, like the lunch table with me, because it's like cafeteria tables, and he
yeah,
has his phone, and he says, "Come here, man, listen to this song." So now I have someone else's fucking earbud in my ear, and his is in the other ear, and he's looking at me, and the song's bomb just trampling along, and he has this really dopey voice. And he had a song that was called "Straight Outta Green Run." He was from Green Run. I won't say this. Green Run, Virginia. Okay, I don't know this guy's names. I'll just tell you, Green Run, Virginia, somewhere I don't know fucking where, middle of the state. And the song was something like "Street Out of Green Run, still got our guns." Oh fuck you! Like I don't know. I really don't know. Something about you can't take away our guns. Who the fuck knows, dude? It was an awful song, and it made no sense. And I'm listening to it. I can't get out of this situation. I was so thankful when his bus showed up, and I wasn't riding with him because I couldn't get the guy away from me. At the time, I didn't have the social understanding to tell people to fuck off politely.
Jesus, oh man, uh, yeah, but that's my advice to people who are really wondering if bus rides are really like that, go ahead and do one. Just, you know, go on a little, embark on a little voyage, and maybe you'll come across a drunk Russian man that knocks on a window and does this too at fucking. It was like 2 in the morning.
Maybe a Russian guy will actually blow them.
Maybe.
Maybe a Russian guy will actually blow them.
And he'll say
Maybe.
he'll be like some from Glavla.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh man.
Oh, but anyway, yeah, so that's what happened this week. With that, I got a sunburn. My sister was in the 4th of July parade in my hometown. So I was watching the parade and I had a tank top on, no sunblock, 1,000 degrees outside.
Ooh.
So that's why I'm a bit red. But it's healing up okay. Kind of tanning off. Nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. But did you do anything for the 4th?
Not really. I just hung out and just did some packing. That's all I did.
Oh, okay.
That's my life isn't quite eventful at the moment. We're working on it.
You're working on it. Oh, okay, I see. Working on getting some broads?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
He's having one shipped in from Austria.
No, Russia, obviously. Get it right.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's that dude's sister.
Czechoslovakia. Yeah, that dude's sister. Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah, I prefer my fine cuts of
But
pastrami.
serious though, Jimmy, are you looking? No, but serious though, Jimmy. You said you're working on it. What exactly? I guess what you're working on, you can't exactly say while we're on tape. I assume.
No, I meant like I'm currently working out some material for more comedy shit. And
Oh, okay. Well, good. I was hoping on that.
Yeah, and I'm like ironing out the details for a comic book I want to work on. That's been a little time consuming as well.
Is the comic book about a Russian guy that sucks your cock?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's called With Love from Russia and the most gargled up sounds humanly possible. It's like one of those books with the buttons on it, and you get like audio clips that play, and you just hear.
Oh. Oh shit.
But yeah, that's what I mean by eventful. I'm just ironing out all that.
Oh, I will probably release I'm going to release this as audio because the audio will be much stronger with the video. I'm going to try to see if I can do both, but the local recording right now has the audio pretty nice, so I'll be able to. It's weird. It seems like the audio is good, but the video's lagging now. So we can hear each other fine, but our faces aren't catching up.
Yeah.
It's strange as shit ever. Well, the thing of it is that Jimmy is broadcasting from Terabithia, so the Wi-Fi is kind of rough out there.
It's one of my famous yachts or mansions. Why did I say yacht? Mansion.
I guess what happens is that when you live in a place where north, south, east, or west, there's not shit for an hour and a half, the connection sometimes is shoddy.
Yeah. And when you got like 2 internet service providers, take your pick.
Yeah, and one of them is
Dog shit. I'll throw them under the bus. CenturyLink.
yeah.
Fuck them. I don't care. They're absolute dog shit. Fuck them. Shitty. What are they gonna do? Sir, you're banned from using our services. Oh, thank God I'm free. Ugh.
Oh, yeah, awful. Oh man, but anyway, Jim, if there's anything else you'd like to add, it has been fun today.
No, I'm good, man. I think we can leave it here and call it good.
All right. Any shows coming up?
Uh, Not at the moment. I think the next time I have some stuff going on will probably be maybe late August, maybe early September. I'm going to try and shoot for something sooner, but with, especially around here with fur trade days, heritage days, and all that, it's kind of hard to get something booked. You usually have to do that months out in advance. So,
Right. All right. Well, hey, stick around for after the recording is done, and I'll ask you something.
all right.
All righty, folks. Well, that train has finally wrecked in the station, and this one is done for. What a terrible outro. I gotta keep that in here. Oh, that's fantastic.